All right, Shaun the Dirt here. Joining me is Justin Peck. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Good. Getting off Knoxville, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I got home Wednesday, or I'm sorry, Wednesday. Yeah. No, I got home Sunday. So just kind of didn't really do anything yesterday, and now now I'm back at the shop and just getting stuff ready to go for this week.
You guys don't have any time off, do you?
Doesn't seem like it, especially like if you try to go race in the off season, like if you go to Australia and stuff, it doesn't seem like it ever stops. You get like 3 weeks off and then you're back at it.
Yeah. So this year you're currently sixth in points, and but your momentum lately, you haven't gotten a win yet this year. Last year you ran the midweek series, and you got one win in your home state, huh?
Yep.
And
Yep.
this year you haven't gotten a win yet, but the momentum seems to be there with your team, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're up there. We're battling for wins. It's just we haven't actually won. So it's kind of been frustrating because it's one of those things where you got to realize, you're strong, you're fast, you're up there. And if you stay up there and just keep battling, eventually you'll pick a couple off. So just trying to stay positive. But yeah, kind of like you said. I mean, we've been really fast. Like we podiumed at Kings Royal, and seems like we find ourselves on the podium into the top five a lot. Just got to find that last little bit.
Yeah, so talk about your decision to be a high roller this year, and then we'll get into some of the cool stuff because I don't think you've ever really been out in the Northwest. You ran Trophy Cup, right? I saw that on your thing, right?
Yeah, so I try to run Trophy Cup about every year. It just doesn't always seem to work out. But, I got to run it last year. Didn't run it the year before that. Ran it the year before that, though. But, I mean, the high limit thing, it's pretty intriguing. I mean, they were wanting to pay good money to, go travel a national schedule. And, for me, running the All-Stars the last handful of years, it's not necessarily a full national deal, right? It's kind of a more regional deal. I mean, you still run 50, 60 races, just on that one series. You're still racing for a championship, but there's just something to traveling the country and getting to see different racetracks that you haven't necessarily ever been to. And then, like I said, on top of that, I mean, it's paying really good money, so it's kind of hard to pass up.
And then, have you ever raced in Oregon or Washington?
No, never.
I didn't think so. I hadn't seen that. And so that was the cool thing. Cause of course, I follow racing everywhere. Right. And I've seen you at the Chili Bowl, but I've always wanted to see you race in the Northwest. So this is the cool thing. When I saw that you were running the full time in the high limit, I was like, oh, cool. The Northwest fans will actually get to see you, which is somebody I've always watched my whole life. So talk about coming out to the Northwest. Have you followed any of the tracks up this way? Looked at any of the video, or what do you guys think? And how do you set up for new tracks that you've never seen? Because these are like, all kind of, 3/8, 3/10 mile tracks. But what do you think?
Yeah. I say I'm really actually looking forward to get to Skagit. I mean, Skagit's kind of been on my hit list for a while. It's just the opportunity's never really presented itself in a way that, I was capable of doing. It's always like, I could get a ride out there. I talked to a guy, last year before about running some races up at Skagit. But, with our busy schedule, I mean, we've been trying to run about 100 races a year. It seems like the last handful of years. So it just never really worked out to actually get to go race up there. But you try to watch some of the videos on the places, right? Like you can watch a lot of video on Skagit, but it's kind of hard to find a whole lot of video of 410 sprint cars at the places in Oregon. So it'll be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to like I said, I like getting to new racetracks. So I'm looking forward to getting to some new places, and we'll kind of just roll in there with our little baseline package that we run, most everywhere, and just kind of tune on it from there. I mean, my crew chief Shaun, luckily, I'm pretty sure he's been to Skagit a handful of times, so that does help a little bit. But I'm not so sure what other tracks he's been to out there. So like as far as going out on this West Coast swing, I mean, really the only racetracks I've ran is Chico. Or I'm sorry, I haven't run Chico. The only places I've run is Hanford, Tulare, and Placerville. So Chico will be new, Oregon will be new, Washington will be new. So it'll be kind of a little curveball.
And I think the fans are really excited because Oregon hasn't seen a race, hasn't seen a big race. We get they get NARC. We get the NARC fastest 5 days the last couple of years, but they haven't seen an outlaw race in a few years. So I think the crowds, even for a Monday, I think that because they have the NARC race used on a Wednesday and that place is packed. So I imagine there's going to be huge crowds so I hope you have a lot of shirts to sell and a lot of stuff to bring. Cause I think you're going to notice we're going to have some rabid fans up here in the Northwest waiting to see you.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'm actually not taking my t-shirt trailer out there, but I did throw some boxes of shirts in Parker Price Miller's trailer. So when we get out there, we'll have to figure out how we're going to set up. But I'll probably have a Book Motorsports tent set up and a table and everything with, a bunch of different shirts and maybe some hats and stuff like that. So should be pretty cool.
Yeah, and then Grace Harbor Raceway's in the middle of that, and that's on a Wednesday, and in the middle of your Oregon and your big Skagit race, and that's a big that's a little bit different track too. You're going to run a little different there with the bigger, wider corners, and everyone talks about the speed there that you don't see at the other tracks. Have you been able to check that track out at all?
Yeah, like I said, just trying to watch some stuff on Flow and watch some stuff on YouTube. It's difficult. I mean, it's easy. You can watch and you kind of have an understanding of how guys race the racetrack, but until you really see the racetrack with your own eyes and actually get out on the racetrack in the car, it's hard to actually make sense of it. I mean, you have an idea in your head, right? But watching and doing is two totally different things. So, if you're watching a racetrack that you've raced at, and you're watching some video on it, like you can put it all together in your head. You can kind of understand, oh, this guy made this move because he had to do this or he had to hit this spot on the racetrack. So watching something that you've never been to, like I said, it's kind of tough because you have an idea of what they're doing, but you don't actually understand what they're really truly doing until you get out there. So it'll be pretty fun. I mean, that's kind of the whole part of running the national, touring series is going to all these different racetracks and having to be on your game 24/7. And, that goes for being in the race car and just, fine tuning the race car itself. So it should be pretty fun. I think Shaun and I usually we usually work pretty well together at going to new racetracks. We've worked together for a handful of years now. So we kind of understand each other's language, so to say. So, yeah.
And then why would people want to get a ticket? Why should people get a ticket to a high limit show if this weekend? Well, this next couple weeks.
It's a big deal, man. I mean, there's like 16 full timers that we tour with, and then we go to places like Pennsylvania, and you get the local crowd, badasses that they have, and then we're going to go to the West Coast and get that local crowd of badasses they have. So it'd just be, it'd be kind of the best versus the best, so to say. I mean, there is, you got the guys on the Outlaw Tour that are absolutely really good as well. But from a product standpoint, I don't really know how you can find much better than what High Limit produces. I mean, it's just hard knocks racing, and it's pretty cutthroat. And like I said, I mean, the California guys race about the same way. They're pretty cutthroat as well, and the guys up in Skagit and the guys in Oregon as well. So it'll be pretty cool. I think it'll be, like I said, it should be cutthroat. It should be pretty exciting.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. We're really excited up here in the Northwest. I hope we can't wait. We hope we have good weather. We always hope we have good weather this time of the year. And it's going to be awesome to have High Limit come through the Northwest, Oregon, Washington, and then good luck in California there before you get here.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me on.
All right. This is Shaun. You're in the dirt.